All right, guys. We have one of my favorite episodes here. A lot of good information about how to release music in 2025, as well as content creation, and how it can all help and intertwine with each other. Lightleak here. We have opening up for a show for DeMello. Is killing it right now when it comes to those topics. So yeah, he has music being supported by Jamie Jones, Sidney Charles, and a lot more. He's killing. He's in contact with all these labels and other artists as well, which is extremely important with networking and getting ahead of the game, and to get out of that local DJ scene and to become a touring DJ. And I think, I think 2025 is going to be a great year for him. So enjoy. Well, awesome. How are you doing?
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, you too. You've been killing it lately. Music, socials, and everything.
Thank you. I
Yeah, I
appreciate it.
definitely want to get into that too. Kind of talk about what you're doing, because I feel like in the past 4 years, how you've released music has changed a lot, and what you're doing is a great way.
Thank you.
But yeah, what do you have planned right now, if like shows or anything?
So we got our show on the 5th.
Yeah, our show too. Yeah, of
So I'm
course.
excited for that one. That'll be my next show. The team's working out an East Coast tour in March and April.
Nice.
So that'll be my first tour going to the East Coast. So I'm excited.
Where did you meet these guys, or how do you know them?
My team?
Yeah.
They found me. Yeah, my manager reached out. I think we're on 9 months now together.
Okay.
But he reached out on Instagram, and I was like, he was like, "Oh, I would love to, hop on a call." We hopped on a call real quick. Met for coffee, and I was like, "I'll give you 3 months if you want to kind of show me what you can do."
Yeah. It's a good way to do
and
it.
kind of asked him to like give me a plan about what he wanted to accomplish, and just kind of wanted to see if we were a good fit. And manager's amazing, really good guy, hard worker, driven. And then my agent found me. Funny story, like I posted a TikTok, and I got a follow from this guy who had WME, which is a booking agency, in his bio.
Yeah.
And at the time, we were kind of shopping around for agencies, and I messaged him like, "Hey, by the way, I'm shopping around for agencies. Like, maybe you can help out." And he was like, "Sure. Like, let me see what I can do, whatever." And then he asked to get a coffee. And
This is the WME guy?
this is a WME guy, and
Okay.
he's just a coordinator, and they're in the rock division. But he brought his friend, and his friend met up with us, my manager and I, and we just had a coffee and kind of chatted. And it wasn't really a business talk at all. It was kind of just getting to know each other, friendly conversation. And then we kind of went on with our lives, and they both started following me on Instagram and kind of just saw the growth over time and started to kind of believe in things. And one of the guys, so his friend who he brought, reached out to my manager, and he was like, "Hey, like, I want to help you out. I'm not going to be able to sign you, but I know a lot about the industry. I can help you kind of figure out how to send emails, how to reach out to people, kind of try to help you with contacts and see what happens." So that's kind of how we got started. And it's been a couple months working with him, and it definitely relieves a lot of the headache because I was doing a lot of it myself in the beginning.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. A lot of people don't think,
I'm sure
you're just a DJ. Yeah, a lot of other things. If you're in a band, you have 4 or 5 people to take certain tasks. You're a single DJ, you got to do everything.
It's so much.
No, that's awesome though. They reach out to you. That's the way to go about it. They all say, "Yeah, you're releasing a lot of music." I remember you're releasing music like one track every 2 weeks.
That's how I started in May of last May
2024.
Had a bunch of music kind of ready to release, and figured it would be good to kind of have a consistent schedule. And yeah, so I did track every 2 weeks for 6 months.
When you first started that, how many tracks did you have ready to like release?
I think I had three. I think I only had
Okay.
3 tracks. Yeah, but I was like, okay, this will give me a month and a half to kind of
Yeah,
make
yeah.
one
I gotta
ready.
start grinding right now.
And it was really good because there was kind of like heat on the on the fire. And so it was good. It was really good for me. I was like just finishing tracks. I didn't have time to overthink it. I was just ready to get them done and put them out. And that's kind of how my manager reached out to me. He found one of my songs and loved the song. And I think the music really helped me more than anything in my career.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot of
definitely.
and give me a lot of opportunities. So yeah.
Yeah. Releasing a lot of music. Do you feel a lot of stress like in that first month or that first month and a half when you have those 3 tracks? Like, are you putting yourself given a lot of pressure? Because sometimes, you might have a, bad couple of weeks of not making, yours. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I try not to stress too much about it. I think I was pretty confident in the music, and I really was like just wanted to see how people would take it and kind of see
Yeah.
how level I was at, and whatever that level was, I was gonna just accept it and try to get to the next one from there.
Yeah.
So I
So
really started
were
Europe.
you trying to always trying to put out self-release tracks, or were you trying to sign the labels? Because signing the labels is tough.
I was trying to sign to labels,
Yeah.
and I sent out hundreds of emails to
Yeah.
labels, and I didn't realize that like there are tons of small labels that will just sign your music on the spot, like don't really care that much. So I was like, "Oh my God, I got a record deal. Like this is crazy."
Yeah.
And I
It's
look into the label and like they release a new EP every 3 days and you're like, "Okay."
yeah.
I
Yeah. They
learned
don't.
about that, and yeah, I mean, I realized that self-releasing was kind of the way to go in the beginning. Because then I could kind of learn how to market my own music. I could learn
That's
how to
true.
run ads. I can learn how to do everything and grow my own fan base because I feel like the music wasn't at the level of signing to those biggest labels that I wanted to sign to. Um,
Yeah.
but I think it was good enough for the audience and good enough for me. I was proud of it. So I was like, let me just put it out and yeah, and then grow from there. And now that I'm talking to some of those bigger labels, I've learned why it's so difficult. Like they're very picky. Yeah, they just have, like you have to kind of work through their brand and you kind of have to align with them instead of them trying to align with you. And I think as an artist, you want to be able to create freely and put things out when you want and kind of tell your own story. But with these bigger labels, you kind of have to like align with their stories and that's been a bit of a learning game for me lately.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, I mean, I think another big part of kind of what's helping you a lot is, I mean, you've been releasing all this music and you're marketing your own. You could kind of do it on yourself by yourself. Also, yeah, like you said, you learned a lot about how to market your music, but
Exactly.
you're also growing your own personal fan base. You believe that's like kind of helped you to be able to reach out to these labels too?
Yeah, I'm sure. I think the music speaks for itself.
Yeah,
To me, with the labels, I felt like you just kind of need to get your foot in the door with them. Like they need to find one track that they're like, "Oh, this is a good track. Like, please send us more stuff." Because I feel like they're so used to just saying no, no, no to all these people. So I
yeah,
think like, for example, if a bigger artist who they already know about that has success, they're gonna listen to it again. They're gonna give it
yeah. More inclined
yeah. So
to
I feel like for
listen and
me,
sign.
yeah. So I feel like once you build that relationship with the label where you meet the A&R and you work with them and you're sending them stuff back and forth, that's kind of a good, I think, flow to get into. But at first, I was just, yeah, it was like nothing. I was getting no responses from anyone,
Yeah, yeah.
artists, labels, everyone. And then it kind of just starts snowballing, I think, once you get artist support. So I felt like Rossi was my first artist support. in front of 15,000 people.
Was that the first track that was played out?
That was the first track that was played out. Like,
Yeah, I saw that video. I'm like, that's crazy.
And the craziest part was he's my GOAT. Like, he's my Michael Jordan of music.
Yeah.
My guy, my biggest inspiration. And out of any other artist, any other big artist, he's the one who opens my DM and messages me, hey, can you make this downloadable? And a month later, he plays it out. And
so is that what happened? You had contact with them like through DMs, and
yeah,
you gave him that track?
This is kind of an interesting thing, I think, for other artists to kind of take on, is like a lot of these labels reached out to me first, and I of course send them stuff, but like you don't really have a direct line. So you have like their demo inbox, and a lot of the bigger labels don't even have a public demo inbox because they're just embedded.
Yeah.
So they have A&R teams looking for artists. And so,
and how do they find those artists? Social media?
Socials, yeah. So like I'll with Rossi, like I was posting on TikTok and he reposted one of my videos. And so I was like, okay, this is perfect time to shoot my shot. So I messaged him like, yo, thanks for supporting my post. Here are 2 songs that I just finished. I think you'd really like them. Just give him a few seconds to listen on your phone. Like it would mean a lot.
Yeah.
And he opens it that same day and leaves me on red. And I was like, oh my God, Rossi opened my DM. Like, this is crazy. He read my text or whatever. And then the next day I'm on the phone with my manager and like I have my DMs open on my computer. And he messages me, hey bro, listen to your tracks. They're pretty cool. Can you make them downloadable? And so I like freaked out. Like I was like getting emotional. It was really like an entire year of nothing. And I was out in Amsterdam making music, and I spent so much time on this. Like I still do spend like 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Good full-time job,
just making music and learning. And that was before I even played it out. I was just like, this is insane. And since then, I think, I don't know what it is, but people start to take notice and send your stuff around. And then I got Sydney Charles, and then I got Jamie Jones and things.
Did you send those tracks to them too, or was that from Rossi?
They're all different ways. So I think Sydney Charles was through a contact from like a scout for one of his labels, and he sent it to Sydney. Sydney downloaded 5 of my tracks and started following me on Instagram and was just rinsing everything. Like all the next 10 shows, I was getting messages from random people too.
How do they know it was your track?
From TikTok, I'm thinking. Yeah.
I've sent tracks out and I've gotten downloads from labels and people, and I'm checking their socials. Nothing.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to kind of keep track. Like Sosa, there's a lot of artists that like have downloaded my tracks and I don't know if they've played them out. I'm sure that they have, but it's hard to kind of get proof of it. So yeah, Sydney was that way, and then Jamie Jones was also through his label.
And you didn't know about Jamie Jones playing your track till like a month later or something like that, right? Or
3 months later. 3 months later, I get a DM from a guy saying, "Hey, I have a video and I want to know if it's your song." And I was like, skimming through all my old DMs on my requests, and I was like, all right, like next. Like it didn't open it. And then he swiped up again, was like, hey, I have Jamie Jones playing this song. And I was like, bro, like send it to me. I want to see it. And sends it to me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was 3 months ago. And it was also at Amnesia Ibiza 3 weeks after I was there at that same event. And I got to like be there. I got to kind of understand what it felt like because I was there. You know what I mean?
Wait, you heard him saying or playing your track?
No, so I was there before he played it out, but I was at that same event, so I felt like
you missed out on you playing your track.
Yeah, I've still yet to hear my track at a bigger show.
Yeah, that's got to be
a crazy feeling. Downloaded one of them on Friday, and I went to go see him on Saturday, and he didn't play it out. But I was like,
dude, you have 6 hours to play it too, or 5 hours.
I know. I was there open to close, just like patiently.
When's he playing it? Looking over on the CDJ.
I know.
And so you're talking to Sosa too, or
Yeah.
how'd you get in the?
Sosa reached out on TikTok of all places, and then got a download from me a couple months ago, and I feel weird name dropping all these bigger artists, but
Yeah, no, it's awesome, man. I
they
think
definitely
what you're doing, it's working. It's good.
Thank you, man.
So I think it's important to talk about and kind of let people know too. Like, hey, a lot of people talk crap on like TikToks and Reels, but it's working.
It worked so well for me.
I was always skeptical about TikTok. I'm like, no, I'm watching you doing this. I'm like, shit. Okay,
Yeah,
this does work.
I think it's just the concept of just like having them reach out first, or like kind of make the first move. And like I think what I was doing was I was just presenting my music in a way that I was like proud of, like, yo, this is my song, like just promoting my unreleased music.
Yeah, exactly. You're putting your music in front of people.
Just trying to build the hype. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I've seen you're using that was it co-brand? Is that what it's called? The marketing tool?
Mm-hmm.
Are you using that for like pretty much every time you're promoting it, you start promoting a track that you're gonna release?
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm now trying this new.
So you weren't doing this before. This is new to like, collect
Yeah.
marketing information to let people know, hey, the track is out now, and then you send it to however many people you collected on, and then that's gonna help you with streaming too.
There's this one track that I have called EQ that is just going viral on everything, and I'm seeing more artists reach out and more likes on every post, and so I just have a good feeling about it.
Yeah.
And it's still continuing to go viral on my Instagram page, 300,000 views, and I'm just trying to collect the hype in a way, because that song I have a label that I'm working on an EP with. That's
You
gonna
want to put
take
it on that label?
It's gonna probably go on that EP if all goes well. And so I can't just put the song out right now. I have to wait for them.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I'm trying to just kind of collect the hype in a way. And there's almost 500 RSVPs on that one track,
Nice.
which is really cool. So
Are you allowed to say what label?
I don't want to say now. I would love to. I'm always the kind of guy who's like this, but
Yeah.
I just realized in this industry you can't get your hopes up about like anything until it's done.
Yeah. Keep your hopes low. So if it doesn't happen, you're like, okay, that's fine. But if it does happen, you're like, boom.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather just like put the song out under the label and just be like, all right, it's coming out here.
Yeah.
But I haven't released with a label yet, so I just don't know. I don't know
You can
how.
still do your marketing ways.
Yeah, I mean, that also I'm really interested about, like what they want me to do and what I can do, and I'm sure that they're fine. Like the more I promote it, the better.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to like put a whole train behind that one song. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a learning game. I feel like I'm still kind of early in the industry.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, what you're doing is right, like I said. So I mean, there's always, I guess, room to learn. But I mean, what you're doing is really good. So I feel like you're waiting to break through to become like touring like all over.
Exactly.
To be like
Yeah,
and
it's a waiting
start.
game.
Yeah, so investing your time and money right now, so it'll pay off later. And hopefully, I mean, fuck, maybe this is the year. I don't know. Just gotta keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. You can only hope and try your best. I've been kind of to worry a little bit less about like when it's gonna happen and when I'm gonna, break through, and just kind of enjoying the process, and just making music and getting better.
It's different nowadays, but I feel like, I mean, I think it still happens. Releasing on big labels. I think that's could be the way. I mean, that's how it's kind of traditionally happened in the
Yeah.
past. But I mean, I still see like artists that, I mean, people that I book. I mean, they release on big labels, but they're just not quite
It's the
there. I
same.
think that's where like personal brand comes in play. People
I
getting to
think
know who you
fans are the
are.
most important thing. The labels,
Yeah.
I think, give you credibility, and the artist support gives you credibility.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you want fans that are going to come to your shows. And
Exactly. You need to sell tickets. That's what's going to,
yeah,
personal brand that does that.
exactly. And what I was doing was like, I'm not going to wait for a label to give me an opportunity to put me in front of eyes. Like, I'm going to try any way possible to get in front of as many eyes as possible. And so
Yeah.
that's why I'm doing all these posts and releasing all this music independently, because it's like I want to be ready for when that happens, so that I'm, everything's kind of built. And for me, like, that's what I've been trying to do, just build a strong foundation on socials with music, getting a lot of practice playing shows. Like, you've booked me when I was, 2-3 years ago when I was first starting.
Yeah. Were you in college still then?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember it wasn't even me directly booking you, but it was a collab party. Like, oh, get this college kid in. I was always like, I always stayed away from like college kids because I know they could bring a lot of people, but I really was like all about bringing in the right DJs that people are, heavy music lovers rather than like a party crowd. I mean, party crowd, yeah, you're going to make a lot of money or more money, and you're going to be safer when it comes to like the numbers and the business. But I mean, I was really focused on like longevity and, really making sure we're bringing in music people that love house music rather than like a party crowd, which is, I mean, both ways work.
I respect
But
that a lot.
yeah, just grinding through, like throwing parties is consistency, constantly throwing parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing the weekly was really crucial. It was really tough, but yeah, I mean, when we booked you, we weren't even on our weekly yet. That was before we were at Social, or I was doing some shows there, but I was like trial and error, and like I was like, okay,
Fun show.
I was trying to do like Sunday fun days, and I was just losing money. I'm like, and the manager's like, you should do like a Friday or Saturday night. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'll try it out. And I did one. I made $500. I was like, sick. Okay, let's do that again. And then sold out the venue. I made like $2,000. I'm like, oh, sick. I'm like, oh my God, $2,000. I'm like, all right, let's do that again. And then I made more money again. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, Friday and Saturday nights, that's where it's at. And I need to really go. I was like really focused on the marketing and stuff. And then that's when we started the weekly. Anyway, getting sidetracked here.
It's not easy throwing events.
Say it again.
It's not easy throwing events.
Not at all. No, it's very tough.
I had to draw a line early about what I wanted to do. Like, I feel like it's hard to do events. For me, at least, it was hard to do events and be an artist at the same time. And
It is very hard.
I'm going to just stick to being an artist and try to eventually build that fan base to where I can throw the events. But like, that's going to be stage 10 in my opinion, But I threw my first event in Amsterdam in
the boat party, right?
The boat party.
Yeah, it's like an all-day thing. Like you're probably not gonna be making music that day. You're just worrying about all the promotions, the marketing, and setting up, tearing down. Everyone's hitting you up.
For me, it was the tickets, because like I sold most of the tickets on the last day, the day before, and the day of.
That's how it always is. So you're stressing.
And I had no idea. And I was just I'm sitting there like, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna rain?
Yeah.
Am I not gonna sell enough tickets and lose all this money? And thankfully, it all kind of came together, and it was really fun.
Yeah, that's what usually happens. You're always very in the negative before the show happens. Like even when the show starts, you're in the negative heavily. And then people just start.
The bar, to me, was like, I made so much off the bar.
What percent did you get at the bar, or a full bar?
Yeah, I got it all.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, if you get full bar, that's always good.
Yeah. Well, it's a boat. It's
what?
It's a boat. It's not a bar. So I was buying all the drinks and selling them. So
no. Usually, how I work or how I get to venues is where it's a place like a restaurant bar that has 10, 15 people in there from like 10 to 2. late night to a restaurant that's like not doing late night stuff. I'm like, hey, I'll bring 300 people in here. Just give me 20% of the bar. They're like, okay. It's like, yeah, do you want an extra $4,000 or $5,000, whatever it is? And they're usually always down for the most part. Some venues are, no, I don't give a percent of the bar. I'm like, well, you have 30 people here.
Right.
Usually.
The hardest thing is bringing the people.
Huh?
The hardest thing is bringing the people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
so once you're able to do that, it's a lot of value, but it still is very expensive to throw a party. Like I had a party that was, I think it was $30 at the door. Then, I think it was like $15 early bird, $20 pre-sale, then $30 at the door. And then I spent like $5,000 for the party. And then some random person I know, she's like, this is your party? I'm like, yeah. She's like, $30 is way too expensive. I'm like, I spent a lot of money. I spent $5,000. I don't think I told her how much money, but I spent a lot of money. I'm like, $30 is not that bad. And it's a small venue. My break even's like usually around 75% of ticket sales, not including bar, but I'm always trying to, break even around like 75%, which is I'm keeping it as cheap as possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think when it comes to that, it's like, you don't have to come,
Yeah.
Like,
if you just wanted,
if you don't want to pay $30, like you got to kind of make it work. It's going to be worth their while. I mean, I rarely hear about people paying, for an event that you organize where they're like, they go home and they're like, you know what? Like, I wish I had my $30 back,
Yeah, if you just want to drink, there's plenty of bars around here. You could go walk over there. Here we have a touring act and we have the nicest sound system in Orange County. So if you want to enjoy that, you can for $30, or it could have been 15 or $20. But if not, yeah, if you just want to drink, we don't need you here. So it does help with like getting out the crowd when they say, oh, $30. Like, oh, never mind. They're not there for the music.
Exactly.
So it definitely helps, makes a more intimate and better crowd experience. Everyone's dancing and everything, which is great. You don't really want people just standing around.
Exactly.
But I also still see like promoters have like a local show, just like local DJs, and they're charging like $30, $40. I'm like, what the?
Really?
What? I'm like, that's crazy. I don't even charge that much, and I'm like, pretty sure my expenses are 2-3 times the amount.
Man, I don't know the business well enough to know. Supply demand, right?
Yeah. That's the thing. We're like one of the only promoters in Orange County, and there are a couple others like Wasted, but they're every once in a while doing events, but they're not really community driven like us. And then there's also Time Nightclub, which is just major, big promoter.
Yeah. I think you do a great job. It's been a few years seeing the events that you've put on, and
yeah, you were there, right? You saw us when we were at Sandbar.
Yeah.
And then there's the parties at Social were doing a lot better. I was making more money. I'm like, I can't be doing these shows.
Yeah.
And I didn't really have much control over what I did at Sandbar. Like they gave me the flyers, which I didn't like. I like to make my own flyers. I want that certain look, which I think is very important, rather than a flyer that looks exactly like all the other hundreds of flyers they have a month. And then I was stuck with a budget from them too, so I couldn't really book like touring artists.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you do that. Like you can bring people in that people want to see. I think the community they're a lot more inclined to go see an artist that they know and that they like than to just go out on any night out. And I think the industry is changing a lot in that way, where
that's what
people.
When it comes to that, I don't mind throwing the local shows, which is fine. They're always fun. I don't really have to worry that much. But yeah, when the touring act comes in, it's like I set up the voids. So it's like I'm setting up the voids. I don't want like 3 local DJs on it, for the night. It's a lot of work. It takes me like 3 hours total for setup and tear down. Not like and not including being at the event. So if I'm setting up the voids, I want like a touring act to be using them.
Yeah. The voids are so sick.
Yeah.
I love a good sound system.
Yeah, they're
Makes
pretty
all the difference.
amazing.
As an artist too, like the crowd, they don't pay attention as much as the artists, I think. But I think quality is everything.
Yeah, no, definitely. It helps me a lot though. I mean, if you're a random person, you just walk in, you're like, what the fuck is
Right.
that? Like,
Right.
oh, helps launch missiles, or I don't know. It's a
Crazy.
third, I don't know. But it helps me get acts too. Get
Really.
we're more, shows that we're more legit and we're taking this seriously. So that's that too. So like once I bought them, I started reaching out to all the agents I've tried. I'm like, hey, we got voids now.
Mm-hmm.
And then it helps out a lot.
What
And
are the
also,
things that help booking acts? Like
say it
other than
again.
the rate. So if you're looking to book some bigger acts, what are some of the things that can help get those bigger acts that you're looking for?
Well, to start, it is very hard to get bigger acts. Most of these acts that cost, I mean, from like 2,000, 3,000 to 5,000. They're on radius clauses with like these major promotions like Golden Voice, Insomniac, or whoever. So radius clauses where they sign a contract where they're not allowed to play in a 50-mile radius. Depends what event it is. If it's Coachella, you can't play anywhere in Southern California for the 6 months prior, 2 months after, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Coachella and like EDC are the most strict ones when it comes to radius clauses. Even though it's in Vegas, they're like, no, you can't play in Southern California because that's their biggest market. So it is very hard. And I just got to constantly keep on reaching out just to see if they are available. Honestly, it's like 80% of the emails I send out to these agents, or I just can't book them.
Yeah, interesting.
So that it's a new thing actually. Probably I'm not sure when it started, but it was before COVID. And it's like Insomniac never really did club shows. I feel like they were always doing just focus on the big raves. But then I feel like like in the early like the 2010s area, like these local promoters were able to book like Armin van Buuren, these massive artists at like a 1,000 cap club, and they're killing it. And then they're growing their promotions heavily. And then like Insomniac or these big promoters kind of saw that like, okay, these promoters are growing. They don't want competition, which makes sense. So they started doing like, okay, well, if you want to play EDC or Beyond Wonderland or whatever it is, you can't play. And they're like, okay, but we're also going to book you 5 times throughout the year. So
Yeah.
a lot of these agents are more willing to work with Insomniac rather than, the promoters that's going to book them once, maybe twice a year,
Yeah. I'm hearing a lot about it, about how these bigger venues and bigger companies are becoming so successful that it's making it really difficult for the smaller clubs and smaller promoters to kind of be successful because of, I mean, people want to go see these bigger artists and they're going to go to those big companies.
Yeah.
And I mean, from what I heard, like, in London, back in the day, there were so many little clubs to go to, and now it's like hard to find those gems.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of promoters. I mean, I would say most promoters, they're just booking local acts and just pushing heavily on marketing and TikTok and Reels just to get the flyer or whatever the event they're doing in front of as many eyes as possible rather than booking a major act. I mean, that's what I want to do is book a major act. It's just, it's very tough, but just making it work.
Yeah, you'll get there. Step by step, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I do want to talk more about how you are releasing music. So you started making music let's see here, or not making music. What am I talking about? You started releasing music in May. Did you start doing like the TikToks and reels after that? Once you like, okay, I need a game plan, or what is like your game plan? Like, do you have like a step by like a 10 step of like, I don't know,
How to
whatever
release.
you do? Say it again.
You want a 10-step plan on how to release
I
music?
don't know. What do you like? What's your plan when it comes like, okay, I got this track out?
I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, when I started was what was I doing? I'm pretty sure I was running some ads to my
Like
song.
Facebook ads or like Instagram ads?
Yeah, I was doing
Which
meta
one?
ads.
Meta ads, okay.
Yeah, so Instagram and Facebook.
And then you're just sending them just to listen to music or like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was just doing. Oh no, so when I first started, I was doing playlisting. So there are websites where you can,
it's like Submit Hub.
yeah, Submit Hub, Groover, like, websites like that where you can submit your music to those playlists. And it took me
And
a
that's a
while, but
grind itself too.
that's a grind itself. I mean, it takes about, I don't know, an hour or two to kind of go through all of them. I mean, my genre is pretty niche and there aren't too many playlists that have that. So it only really took me like the hard part is finding the playlists that really align with you. Because if you send them
Yeah.
to everyone, then most of them are going to say no. But you got to really like do your research. So I was sending it to them and I was getting featured on these playlists, and I was getting streams, but it was hurting the algorithm for the songs because a lot of smaller artists that make, music that's, I don't know if it's not as good or just doesn't relate to my music are getting featured as well. And I think Spotify will pick that up and recommend your music less because they're kind of your music's being heard by the wrong people, I think. And it took me a while to realize that, but once I realized that, I stopped doing that and I started just sticking to ads on meta ads, because if you do it right and you target right, you can put your music in front of people who are more likely to like your music, which is going to save you money, and it's going to feed the algorithm in a way where it's going to recommend your music to people who are more similar. And those people are going to like it more, which is going to tell the algorithm that your song is better and it's going to.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, getting your music in front of the right people. So that's kind of what I'm doing now.
Do you feel like that's where you get most of your streams from, or is it TikToks and Reels, or?
No, I mean, I can't really tell
Yeah,
where the
yeah.
streams come from exactly, but the the way that Reels and TikToks work are like you're gonna get the same amount of views on everything, and then all of a sudden you're gonna get a post that's just gonna go viral, and you're gonna get 100,000 people that are gonna see it, and your song is gonna spike
Yeah.
because of it. Instagram, TikTok, SoundCloud, Spotify. I don't think Apple Music, but kind of Apple Music, they all work in the same way where it's all conversion rates, in my opinion. So like the more people that like your song, the more people it's going to recommend it to, the more people interact with your song. So yeah, I mean, I just think that like there are certain songs that are a lot better for TikTok, and I know that because I have experience with that. So I'm like, okay, this is a TikTok type of song. It's got a really
Yeah.
crazy vocal on it. It's got a powerful drop. But I have another song that's like just groovy and deep and like doesn't really, it's not hooky, but like the more you listen to it, the more addicting it is.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to do really well on Spotify. And
Okay.
SoundCloud is more like younger audiences that are, just trying to find a new remix or trying to find, an underground type of song. So the more you do it, the more you learn about, what is going to be successful on which platform. And you never know until you try it, right? Like
Yeah.
find out those things after, I'm wrong about certain songs too that I think are going to be great, and they don't get, the response that I'm looking for. And I have songs that I'm like, this song's good, but like I like this song. I'd rather listen to this song than this song, and it'll do better.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how things work, I think nowadays. Like I had a label. I waited so long to send them this one song, and I send him all this other stuff other than this one song that I was kind of like sleeping on in a way. And the guy was like, yo, this is great. Like, we want to include this in the EP. Like,
Yeah.
exactly what we're looking for. And I'm like,
You're like, what? Oh my God.
yeah, but I think everyone in the industry really understands that at this point, where it's like there are these hidden gems that you really don't expect to do so well. So you might as well try, you might as well send it, you might as well put it out,
Yeah.
so make that post, because it's really just, things just catch fire all of a sudden when you least expect it. And yeah, you never know if you don't try it out.
Yeah, it's awesome. And when you say the algorithm, they're all the same with like TikTok, Reels, and SoundCloud and Spotify. Do you think like this right when you put out a song on SoundCloud and Spotify? Because I know with like Instagram and TikTok, the most important part, or I'm not sure actually with TikTok, but the most important part when you post on Instagram is like the first hour or two. Is that similar to SoundCloud and Spotify?
No, no, I don't think so. I think the TikTok and Instagram, you kind of get a gauge for if it's going to do well within the first few hours, because what it's doing is it's sending it to 200 people, 200 different people, and it's
Just
testing.
randomly.
Yeah. And it's testing out the conversion based on those 200 people, and it'll catch fire quick. I had a post that took like 2 or 3 months to get to 100,000 views. And that happened to me once. The rest of them within the first hour, like, I remember one of my best posts now. I posted it, and an hour later I had 4,000 views. And I was looking at it like, whoa, like this is doing really well within the first hour. Like, I just checked my phone and it's like doing great. And
Yeah.
it hasn't stopped since then.
Was that Instagram or TikTok or?
That was Instagram. Yeah, TikTok I've had some where it takes a week to kind of pop off, but most of the time you can tell in the beginning.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, both of my hits on SoundCloud took me 3 months or 2 months.
Yeah.
Like very, small, slow growth, and then all of a sudden it'll go crazy.
So when you release a track, how often, or I would say how often too, but how much are you promoting a track once you release it? Like,
This is a great question. We change our strategy often. Our new strategy as of, this week is like, I have a song coming out soon. We picked our release date. We're doing 3 posts a week or so.
is that for TikTok and for Instagram Reels or?
I'm just doing Instagram right now. I realize it's kind of difficult for me to focus my energy on both of them, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to structure my Instagram posts in a way where it's mapped out, it's planned. I have a lot of stuff prepared because I'm doing a post every single day on
Where on Instagram or?
Yeah,
Say it again, TikTok?
on Instagram.
Instagram.
But I was doing, like 3 months ago, I was doing a post a day. I was doing like 3 to 5 posts a day on TikTok. I was posting everything, like just shooting things out, and it was going crazy. But I realized that this is a really interesting topic as well. Like, TikTok viewers and Instagram viewers to me are different. I think the TikTok viewers are kind of more into like that brain rot, like hooky, like, just quick dopamine release type of videos where they're just going to like it and they're going to keep swiping. Versus Instagram, I think it's more of like building your relationship with your followers and presenting kind of who you are and your skills. And so I was realizing that like I wasn't getting that high of a follow conversion on TikTok compared to Instagram, because I was posting a little bit more of that like quick hook, kind of like brain rot, whatever you want to call it, type of content, where I was getting, hundreds of thousands of views, but I was only getting so many followers. I was only getting, for 100,000 views, I was only getting like 200 followers. Versus on Instagram, I'm posting my own music, I'm promoting my own stuff, promoting myself, and I'm getting like 500 to 2,000 followers per 100,000 streams, because of the type of content that it is. So it's really interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing 3 posts a week now for that month leading up to the song. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do once the song's out, but like you gotta keep promoting.
Keep going.
Yeah,
You'll
but
figure it out.
then but then I'm on to the next release, and then I'm promoting the
Yeah.
next. So like,
So are you like intertwining? Like once you set one track out, so you're posting 3 times a week about promoting that track or promoting the track that came out. Do you have another 3 posts a week that you're promoting the new track that's going to come out?
yeah, I mean, I'm not that structured. Like I just post what I like and what I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
posting.
good.
And yeah, but we just understand the value of posting a lot about it because if you're consistent with your posting, people are they're gonna pick up on the hype, you know? And I think that like it's like sales. You're selling your song in a way where like you're proud of it. If you're posting about it, you're obviously gonna be proud of it. People
Yeah.
don't post things that they're ashamed of, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
if I have a song that I'm posting 3 times a week, people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, like this dude's posting like crazy about this song. Like, let me give it another listen. What is
Yeah.
this?
What is
Oh,
this?
this is good. Look at this video." And you're building that hype. And I feel like that's kind of what I've been doing with my Instagram is like, I'm proud of my shit. I work so hard on the music I make. I spend 8 hours a day
Yeah.
working on my music. Like I'm not gonna just put one story post out and be like, my song's out now, go listen to it. And it's obviously gonna get no views because
Yeah, yeah. I
no
see a lot of people
busy,
do
you know?
that.
It's a
I
busy
feel
world.
like I'm not sure if they're just lazy or don't want to do it, but I feel like most of the time they just want to be like the cool guy that like, yeah, no, it's cool, man. I mean, I
I've
don't know.
gotten past it. I think, yeah, I had to get past it. It's not easy. Posting is not easy. Like
No.
it looks cooler to be absent, and it takes a certain level of confidence and I don't give a fuckness to like
Yeah.
be posting. And I kind of got past that. Like I was posting a lot and like I realized that like the more controversial topics that I post about, the better that it does.
Picks up really easy.
And people are gonna fight in the comments.
People start commenting on it. No,
Exactly.
you're wrong.
Exactly. And I've just learned to kind of get past it. And my assistant now goes through my comments and my DMs, and he'll read some comments and be like, "Dude, I just want to roast this dude so bad in the comments. Like, who does he think he is to be saying stuff like this?" And I'm already, dude, just ignore it. Like, just keep going. But to me, like, what I'm trying to get past as well is the big dogs. Like, I want. Like I learned that I kind of want that respect from these bigger artists that I really look up to
Yeah.
the point where it's like, is this post like being too needy? Like, am I asking for too much to like be posting about this all the time? Like, should I be like them? And at the end of the day, like, you do you, you know, do what works best for you. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think my goal moving forward is just to like, yeah, be more proud of my stuff and not really give a fuck about you know people thinking a certain way. Just to be proud of your work and put it out.
Yeah, I mean, what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing right now, grinding really hard, posting all this stuff and making a bunch of music. And I mean, I'm guessing one day, I mean, you won't have to post 3 times a
Exactly.
week,
Once you have those people, then it's gonna do it itself.
Yeah. Like, I think that's how Disco Lines got big, right? From TikTok?
I mean, I think he had one TikTok. I mean, he was posting, I think, consistently, but there was one TikTok he posted in an airport, and I think
Really?
he pinned on his TikTok, and that was of his song. I think it's called "Baby Girl," and that song went viral like crazy.
Yeah, his stuff was like very TikTok, like
Yeah, he's got a
oriented
younger audience.
music.
It's also
Yeah.
interesting for my industry, like in minimal, it's a little bit less. It's kind of better to like people think it's cooler to like be more absent and not really, you know. And I think that a lot of the bigger artists in my genre are more like that, where they're kind of more distant and kind of like away from the camera and away from the spotlight. And
Yeah.
personally, that's just not who I am.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't mind being in front of the camera and just being myself. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
do, you know, I'm gonna do what works for me and just learning, you know, it's like I don't,
It's always learning
you
game. No
know,
matter what, once you get to one level, like once you move up, go to the next level, there's new challenges, new things to learn.
I really
So,
didn't know anything when I first started.
yeah.
I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to start a tech company. Like when I
This
was
is entrepreneur, man. You're an entrepreneur and that's a
exactly,
DJ.
exactly. I didn't know I wanted to do music until a couple of years ago, and once I fell in love with it, then I really just took it as a learning game. And I think that like the fact that I never took shortcuts has really got me to this point now where I'm not selling myself for more value than I am, in a way where, you know, however many followers I have, however many streams I have, that's where I am. And I'm just trying to get to that next follower. You know what I mean? I'm not buying any followers. I'm not faking anything. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. If
I'm
you
not
do that,
hiring
you're
coaches.
actually
You know what I
going
mean?
downhill for a little bit. Or I mean,
Exactly. It's
I
and just
do not like that. Like someone has like 20,000 followers. I'm like, oh, 20,000 followers. Why is this person hitting me up to DJ? And I look at it stuff. All the likes are hidden. One,
exactly
two comments, and it's like spam. I'm like, oh yeah, nope. I'm not even gonna.
immediately.
I'm not gonna entertain you anymore. You're fake. I don't even like. Who are you? Like, I don't know. It just does not look good at all.
So many people want to take shortcuts, and
Yeah, there's no shortcuts.
there's no shortcuts in the game. I mean, if you want to last, there's no shortcuts in the game. And I see a lot of these people, and I'm that are being successful, and I'm just not phased by them because I feel like I'm doing the right things, and over time, those things pay dividends. Just like
Yeah. I mean, you learn once if you're doing what you need to do, doing the hard work. You're not taking those shortcuts. I mean, you're learning so much along the way, so you're creating so much more value for yourself too, and you could take that into your next level of where you're at.
yeah.
So, are you still posting TikToks?
No, I haven't posted on TikTok in a little bit,
How long?
maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks since the shutdown or whenever that was.
I've just found a lot of success on Instagram, and I just don't have my shit together in a way where I have the next month of posts planned out.
Yeah,
Like I have maybe the next 2 weeks, and my assistant's next door working on, content to kind of get ahead. But like we're just working on getting more organized and learning about what works and kind of that flow. And they're two different apps, they're two different algorithms in a way where like they're different audiences. And yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to like I can't wear too many hats at this point. Like I a lot of the times I have a bunch of stuff to do, and I'll just show up and I'll work on music all day, and I'll just
yeah.
but like there are days where I spend an entire day just doing content, like doing posts, editing, planning out drafts, um, doing trial reels, which is like a new feature. And yeah,
I haven't made any posts in a while. Is CapCut, is it done or no?
I think it's back.
It's back, okay, because I haven't really made any posts lately.
Yeah, the CapCut shutting down was like worse than the
I was
TikTok.
like, what? I'm like, okay, TikTok, whatever, but like, I'm like, I gotta learn the
I
whole
saw
nother,
your story. I
phone.
could not relate more to that.
I was like, oh, I was upset about that. I'm like, yeah, TikTok, yeah. I mean, kind of sucks, I guess, but man, I can't edit videos on my phone anymore. I like downloaded like the Microsoft editing app, but the next day they're like, oh, we're back. I'm like, oh,
The content game
okay.
is such a hassle, and it drains you. Like I'll work on posts all day, and I'll get home and I'll have zero energy. I'll lay on my couch and watch TV, and like no one will be there. You can't talk to me. But I'll work on music all day. I'll get home, have so much energy, be talking,
Yeah,
and it really shows how much it takes a toll on you. And I think even as a viewer, like looking at it, I just try so hard to like manage it properly because it's such a powerful tool,
it is,
but
yeah.
it can be really draining. So you gotta really like, yeah, I don't know. You gotta learn to like love it in a way where you're in control.
I think you just gotta have fun with it. If you have fun with it, you're gonna have probably better posts too, rather than like
Exactly.
you're stressing hard. Like no, just like think out of the box, be funny. Like if I was doing like promo stuff, like reels or like whatever for Loco Disco, I would all right, let's have fun with it. And then those are the ones that get the most engagement.
Having your eye on the ball, no matter what it is, you're gonna be a lot more successful if you
Yeah,
really constantly monitor, learn, and focus on something. And I wasn't always good at doing posts. I wasn't always successful. Like really, it's a very gradual growth scale until like the last, I think, few months.
And when did you start posting again? Sorry, I think I asked already, but
I started posting every day. I would say like 3 months ago.
no way.
Yeah. And now I'm getting like 2,500 followers a month just from a few videos. And like I learned this thing where it's like 95% of your followers come from 5% of your posts if you're really posting a lot. And I think it kind of holds true, like more or less. I think over time you realize that like there are like 3 to 5 posts that are really driving your account, and all the rest of the stuff is just like showing people who you are.
Yeah. Once you get them in, you gotta like, let them know who you are. And hopefully they like you.
Yeah. Right.
But another question. So you said like the controversial posts are the ones that just kill it with engagement. Do you guys now try to plan more controversial stuff?
No, I gave up on that idea.
Yeah.
I think I was at a point in my career where I was like really working hard and I felt like I had some good stuff, and it was kind of like, hey everyone, like look at me, like check out my stuff. Like I'm gonna try to do whatever I can to just like get a click and get people to kind of check out my stuff because I was really proud of
Yeah.
it. And now that I have this artist support and I have these labels and I have this kind of momentum behind me, I'm a little bit more just putting things behind my music and letting my music really create the value. But I do, if you look at my page, like I did learn about like how to structure your posts in a way that people are gonna click on it. So like I don't directly say when I'm showing one of my songs, I don't directly say, hey, this is my song, go
Yeah.
stream it.
Yeah.
It's like I have a post about Jamie Jones and it's like Jamie Jones playing the number 5 song in Europe. And so I don't say that it's my song when I post it, but the people who know my music know that it's my song, but the people who don't are going to look into it and try to find the song and then draw the tie together like, oh, this is his song. But
You don't have it like in like the caption or anything.
I mean, subtle. I'll say it subtly, but I
Like
think
the first line is like, yeah, playing number 5 track, SoundCloud, whatever, and
yeah,
then thank you for playing my track or whatever after that. You kind
totally,
of need that first line to be something like
exactly.
catchy.
But there's such an art to like grasping someone's attention, whether it's a big artist or a label or a fan, where if you come off as needy and you come off as like, please do me a favor and do this, people are instantly out because people
Yeah.
want to benefit themselves. So if you can kind of structure things in a way where you're benefiting them, then they're gonna reach out or they're gonna, you know, drop a follower or whatever. And that alone has helped me tremendously. And I've stopped asking people, when I send demos, I'm very subtle about it. Like, hey, here's my song. Let me know what you think. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Any
it.
feedback would be great. But yeah, just like,
Exactly. And
yeah,
I
I
don't
try
even
not to go hard
feedback. I
on like
just,
the emails. But
yeah.
yeah, you got to create value for yourself. That's what you got to do.
And people will decide that on their own. You have no place to tell other people what value you have. People are going to create their own perception based on their own taste.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So yeah,
Question. So is that your studio you're in right now?
this is my manager's office. My studio's being renovated at the moment. Like it doesn't look that nice, so I moved into here. But yeah, we got an office space in Santa Ana.
Oh, nice. You're in San Diego.
So
Okay, you're kind of close by then. I'm
yeah,
actually in Fullerton, hoping to move to Costa Mesa soon. We'll see though.
yeah, close by. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we got 3 offices here, and it's just my dad's like warehouse. So we cleared up. These rooms were filled with boxes, and we cleared them out.
Clear them out if we could use it. He's like, sure.
Exactly, exactly. Like he barely uses the space, so we built our own little headquarters here. And my manager's actually based in LA, but his neighborhood got kind of affected by the fires. So like his
Yeah.
house is fine, but like his family's gonna try to come out to Orange County. So he's gonna come into work now, and yeah, we'll have the three of us here, and then
Nice. That'd be good then. Have
yeah,
everyone together.
yeah, it's great having everyone together. You don't have to follow up on the phone too much.
Yeah, yeah. So are you getting your studio like sound treated, or what are you doing, or just
Yeah, just getting it sound treated pretty much.
nice?
Yeah, I
That's
got
expensive.
it's not. I mean, I just bought Amazon
Okay.
like sticky, not even sticky, like just foam for the walls.
Yeah.
To put it up. I mean, yeah, I could spend a lot of money on that.
Yeah, you could, man. My room's just pretty plain. You don't have like a studio at your house, or I mean, I guess do you make music at your house?
I don't. So I have ADHD, and like I really learned that at a young age that I really need a lot of things in order to be successful. And one of them is having a workspace away from home. So I drive
Yeah.
30 minutes out here. I have to work out every morning. I go to the gym. I wake up at 6 a.m. every day, go to the gym, come to work. I'm here like around 9 or 10, and I'm here till 5, Monday through Friday. And so like
Nice.
some people can be spontaneous about it, but like I need a structure, time scale when I'm producing, a place to work. And yeah, I mean, even just like with my team, I need them to have everything in writing. We have a weekly call to like go over everything. And then yeah, I'm writing things out for my assistant every day and I'm shaking on it. So it's like it's the more structured we can make it, the more peaceful I am, I think,
Yeah.
around work. But it's also cool because now we've been working together for long enough where like I can trust them a lot more. Like I've trained them all, and so like my assistant kind of knows how I like my videos, and my agent and my manager work tightly together, and now I don't have to like worry about my bookings at all. Like they don't even tell me until I get a contract now. Like with you it was different because we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for my tour, like I don't really even know where I'm going exactly on what date. It's kind of like until we have an exact offer and a date, they just say like, "Hey, would you potentially be available on this day?" And I can say yeah or no. But yeah,
Yeah. No,
the
that's
less
awesome.
that I can worry about and the more I can just focus on the music, I think the better. And eventually we'll do
Yeah.
our socials, but like it's hard to just get people to work for you, like and to like do a good job. I think that's the hardest thing when you're first starting.
Yeah, definitely. Well, man, I mean, I feel like we could keep talking for hours here,
Oh, man,
but
it's been a
we'll
while.
wrap this up. It's been over an hour, but yeah, I mean, great talk. Love talking music and just learning about everything, what's going on, what you're doing, everything. You're killing it right now.
Thank you. Appreciate
But
it.
yeah, thank you so much for taking your time.
Of course.
And yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk soon. We got, yeah, just over 2 weeks now to the show. So
Cool. Looking
I'll see
forward
you
to it.
then.
All right, man. Thanks for the
All right.
time.
I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Peace.
See you.
All right, guys. That was an awesome talk with Lightleak. He is killing it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know if you guys want anyone else I should get on here. Well, till next time. Peace.